Hey folks, this is Grey here, and we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. Basically, this is a three-part series in regards to Olight and Obuy's sale that they're having, and I did get the date wrong the other day. I think it's from the 19th to the 23rd. I think it's like a week-long sale. Anyways, yesterday we went over the Century L1, which is a knife. It doesn't seem like too many people were interested in the knife, but I love the knife, and if you haven't seen the video yet, check it out. I'll throw the link up there if you're interested in knives like myself. Anything that's EDC or anything that I can use for either self-protection or just other things like that, I like, you know what I mean? Regardless if you're into knives or not, any of you folks out there that have watched the video and commented down below, I truly appreciate all the support that you guys offer me here on the channel. You folks are like family. Anyways, today we're talking about flashlights. How many of you out there like flashlights? Me, I probably could have a little flashlight store because I love flashlights. Illumination, to me, it's very, very important to have illumination, specifically in grid down situations or emergency purposes. There's a lot of other reasons why flashlights come in handy. Maybe you're just walking the dog, you know what I mean? But you want a good enough flashlight that you can use to illuminate things, right? Plus, having some sort of flashlight or lighting in general for your family is always good. That brings that comfort, because being in the dark and not having a way to illuminate things can be very scary for some folks. Anyways, what we're going to be talking about is the Seeker 4 Pro by Olight, and this is their fourth iteration of this light, and the technology that they put in some of their lights are very impressive. If you're like me, and like I said, if you really like flashlights, you have monsters like this laying around. I think this is the Marauder 2. This beast of a flashlight, but this thing is like turning on the sun.
Oh, that is bright!
If you guys ever want to see a review of this, I will definitely do something. I do have something in the works that I want to compare another light to with this light here, but we're going to be focusing on the Seeker 4 Pro. It's hard to see from there. That's why we're going to go back to the bench. I'm not going to talk forever sitting here as a talking head, even though some people will enjoy me rambling on, which I truly appreciate, you guys. But the way they got this thing set up, the power that's in such a small, compact thing, the things that it comes with, what I mean, the way this thing can just kind of sit on your holster, your pack, it's just very, very nice, and the way that these folks think of when they're developing their products. I always like the bezel, kind of like a tactile bezel in case you ever have to, you know, pop someone in the face or whatnot, just to get them away from you. Anything can be used as a weapon, and when you have EDC or everyday carry stuff on you, anything that's an accessory, be it your knife, your pistol, a light, tactical pens, and the list goes on, that you can use for protection as well as illumination, or you kind of get where I'm going with that, right? Hopefully. Anyways, I got my list of all the different things about this light. So let's go back to the bench, take a close-up look at this light. And again, if you like flashlights, it's something you might want to look at. I did do a night shot of this flashlight. You know, working in the night sometimes is a little bit complicated, but I did the best I could. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's about a 2-minute clip going through the different settings on this at night and in the woods. The bugs were horrible, and it was very hot and humid. So if you just for that, I should get a thumbs up, right? Anyways, folks, again, let's go ahead and move to the bench and take a close-up look at this, look at the specifications of the light, and get a close-up view of everything that it comes with in the box, and move from there. All right, so let's kind of see what you get in the box. We'll go into more detail about a couple of these things, but of course, you're going to get your little safety manual here. You're going to get your user manual. You're going to get your charging plug. Now, this is an extra addition to, let's say, something like this. I think I have one here in the drawer. Let me see, pull this out. Something like this that you may already have from Olight, and I'll explain that in a second. It doesn't come with one of those, but I kind of just want to show you that there, and we'll talk about that. This also comes with this clip with some 3M tape, and this is if you want to attach this to something, possibly, let's say, like a vehicle or something of that nature, you know what I mean? And this just gives you more placements to kind of put this thing in there, because this kind of thing will lock right into here like this. And you can see how that locks into that. And then, of course, you can just remove that from there by pushing the button, and it slides out. This is if you want to mount this in a home, let's say next to a door, on a wall, or in your vehicle, wherever you want to. I think there's some other uses for this. But they'll give you that, like I said, the 3M tape there, as well as some screws and whatnot, in case you want to mount it without the 3M tape, you want something more permanent. Okay, now that I cleared all that stuff away, you can kind of see where I really want to focus on. And the reason they give you this cord, I mean, this is, I mean, you can buy these online, but if you already have an Olight, you probably already have one of these. Just because a lot of times, a lot of people will charge their Olights by the magnetic cap that fits on the back of that. But they went above and beyond with a different way of charging their device, is with the saddle here. And that's what I'm calling it, as a saddle. But anyways, it could be a holster, whatever you want to call it. The neat thing about this is when it's in this mode, you can see that there's a way to charge this here via with this plug. So if you have it somewhere else and you want to charge it via this USB, so it gives you multiple options to charge. It's USB-A to Type-C if you want to charge it in that form factor. Another cool thing about this, let me bring this up a little closer to the camera, and is if basically if you take it out of this here and you remove this, you're going to see these lights come on. So basically it's activating that, and I'm going to bring this up close so you can see that. Basically that was my battery indicator. I'll tap that just once so you guys can see that. But that's going to be your battery indicator there, you know, basically from 0 to 100%. And this is also going to tell you about the illumination of level that you have set. Now there's multiple ways to use this light, and we'll go over those here in a second. And once it's back in here, it kind of like locks the light so that, you know, there's no accidentally bumping or whatnot on this light button. So that if you touch that, it's not going to just turn on and while you have it on there. Now if you hard press it, it will turn on. But just to kind of have an additional layer of protection so that when you go for your flashlight, it's not dead on you because it's been sitting in your holster or whatever and you happen not notice that the light was on. I love the grip on here. It's a silicone grip so that when you have the flashlight in your hand, it feels nice and good. And also, like I said, there's your charging there on the bottom. That's your magnetic. And this means if this has a magnetic bottom on it, you can actually attach this to, like, let's say if you're working on your car, you can attach that to the metal part of your car. Now, what I like also, there's the bezel there, the 4 Cree bulbs in there. If you are really curious about how everything works, the operation is going to be all through this bezel, which is very reminiscent of the Marauder series of flashlights that they have. Of course, this is a lot beefier, but it reminds me of a smaller size version of this with this bezel here. So there are several ways to operate this light, and of course, like I said, you can tap this. And let's say you want moonlight mode, and I'll go through the modes. It's not going to show well on camera just because of this is like, you know, a down version of what I'm doing, you know, facing down. But I'll go ahead and turn it on, and you can hold this for, basically if you want to put it on, if you hold this for 1 second, it's going to put on moonlight mode, which is the lowest setting there. And if you guys are curious about run times, I can throw that on the screen there as well. But once you have it on there, you can hold this down and kind of go through different settings. And I wonder if this will work if I hold it up close enough. As you can see that that's on low now. Then you got your medium, and then you got your high. And so that way that you can kind of see that those lights are lit up there. And of course they disappear after you go through that setting. Now if you're trying to get straight to turbo mode, let's say you need some super, you know, bright light, you can double tap this thing, and this thing will go right into turbo mode. Double tap, and that's like that extreme max 4600 lumens of light that's just, you know, beaming through. It's like, you know, like, again, it's like a micro sun, you know what I mean? It's going to light up everything in your in the area, and when I do the night shots, you'll see that. Now the same mechanism works for this part right here. So this little bezel here, by turning it 90 degrees, it kind of activates things, and I wanted to show you that where that's at right there. See, when I turn this light on, if I turn it on now, it's going to be on low there. And then if you watch that bezel as I'm turning it, it'll go to the second level, which is your medium, then your high, and then of course you can go all the way to turbo by just geeking it all the way up. Anyways, that's the close-up look of the light itself. Some of you folks, I'll try to run through this really quickly in regards to the dimensions of this light. The beam distance is roughly about 853 feet max, 4600 lumens max. Again, it's a Type-C charging or MCC3 charging, which is basically all that means is MCC3 is this type of charging here. This is your Type-C charging, just to kind of give you guys an idea of the difference of the two. It does use a 3.6 volt, 5000 milliamp 21700 battery, which is proprietary to Olight. I always suggest folks to stock up on these when they can, especially if they're on sale. Right here, it'll tell you the light range, which is 5700 Kelvin to 7000 Kelvin. So basically, it's like a white to a natural white. The optics inside here are TIR optics. If you're curious about that, I can throw the definition on the screen or just give you an idea on the screen. Again, the mode operation is through this rotary switch by depressing or by moving the rotary switch, which I think is nice. This does have an IPX8 rating in regards to waterproofing on the light itself. Most of the Olights have some sort of water resistance to waterproofing on there. Well, let's get into the night shots and see how that works out, and then get your opinion on those night shots. And then, of course, we'll come back to me and discuss a little bit more about this and kind of ask you, my viewers, the question of the day or in the video, your thoughts. All right, so here we are. This is going to be the lowest setting on the Seeker 4 Pro. I don't know if you can see the lighting on there or not. That first kind of like marker right there where my thumb is covering it up. But anyways, let's kind of push that out there. Let's take a look around with the light itself. Kind of look down the trail, look up into the trees. And it's not bad on this setting. For like real up close, as you can see, if we look at the ground, it lights things up pretty good. But let's go ahead and move that up a notch. All right, so we got it on the second level there. I'm going to point that straight ahead of me, let the camera focus in on that. And move it over here to the side. You kind of pan around a little bit in the woods to see what we can see. Things up close, light it pretty good. It has some good distance on this one as well. I do like the flood aspect of it. It's not a full flood light, but you know, Olight has like that flood and beam. And I'm trying to see if I can get this to hold a light up there so that you guys can see the distance on that. And at the end of this trail, you're probably looking around probably about 100 feet out that way. Let's pan it to the trees. Kind of look up towards the trees, and most of these trees are anywhere from 20 to 30 feet high. This one's real close to me. Just to kind of give you an idea there. Like I said, this is not an exact science, but at least it kind of gives you an idea of the lighting in the evening times. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put that up to the next level, which is going to be the third level there, and see how we got there. Now that's a lot more light. As you can see now, we can start seeing down that trail. If I walk this way and kind of move around a little bit, it's a lot more distance there. And I'm trying to find the best option for this. Let me put it right here where my phone is and kind of move it together with the phone. And you can see how much light that puts out. A lot of little bugs out today because of all the moisture out here. Mosquitoes are nasty. Let's move up to the trees. A lot more light in those trees. Let's say if you were, you know, looking for some sort of animal up there, you could definitely spot it out there. Kind of move it around. A lot of light up when it's up close. And again, that's the distance on that there. But I don't know if you guys can see how far that shoots down that way. But all in all, to me, the light itself is a very nice light. And to me, it puts out, and sometimes, like I said, the camera, folks, just won't do it enough justice. But hopefully this kind of give you guys an idea as I pan from left over and then to the right. Kind of give you an idea. Maybe I should, next time I'll do this, I'll do it like in an open field or whatnot. All right, so let's go ahead and max this thing out to its final, which is turbo mode. See, that's going to blink there. Let's set that bad boy up and shoot that down the trail. Now that, folks, is some impressive lighting out of a small handheld light like this. That's awesome. You can see all the way down there. If you're looking for something down that way, easy to find. You can see all the bugs. Move it up towards the trees. It's lighting everything up nicely. Very bright. That was a skeeter in my ear. Let me pan this a little bit so you guys can see. But the main focus point is the distance on that. How much of a distance is when we have that thing maxed out. That's awesome, folks. You can see clearly in great detail down there. Like I said, again, the camera sometimes doesn't do it justice. But I got an idea coming down the road how I'm going to do some of these light tests on some of these flashlights. All right, folks. Well, I hope you really enjoyed the video. I hope you got some sort of information if you're looking at the Seeker 4 Pro. Like I said, I'm not a very technical person. You know, I like to give you the specifications, give you my thoughts on things that I review or look over. You know, it's always something beneficial, I feel, for my viewers before they make a purchase. I mean, this I think this light is under $100. It's on sale. I think it's like 30% off. I'll have the links down in the description. I always suggest people to go click on that link, look around, because just it's not only this, they have tons and tons of stuff on sale. Maybe you need a light for your keychain. Again, they have freebies and stuff like that just for logging in and creating an account. And of course, they have different tiers. If you buy this, you get a second light free. There's all kinds of stuff that Olight likes to do to kind of help folks out when they have these sales. But again, my question is to you, do you like flashlights? And if you do, what kind of flashlight do you have? If you could put that down below in the comment section, I'd really like to know what kind of flashlights you guys have. Are you guys a fan of the Olights? How many Olights do you have? What type of Olights do you have in regards to their gear, in regards to lighting? Even if it's just a pen light, you know what I mean? I really like to always get my feedback from you guys because I'm curious, what you guys like to see on the channel. Because then sometimes I'll reach out to either of these companies, or maybe I have some of the stuff in my EDC bag already because I've been doing this for quite some time. So I have tons and tons of little things laying around, but always love to hear back from my viewers. You guys make the channel what it is. Other than that, folks, please, if you got any value out of the video, or if you enjoyed the video at all, hit that thumbs up button. Truly appreciate that. And if you're new here, please subscribe. It's always very, very appreciated. And other than that, folks, remember, you are not alone. This is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys on the rebound. God bless. And again, thank you so much for watching.